40% of renters said they have experienced this while looking for a new place. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Real Estate Power Moves. My name is James J, and today we're going to talk about renters, the truth about renters, the truth about renting, and the problem that we are seeing with renters stating that they have been sleepless because they are struggling trying to find a home that fits their needs and, most importantly, fits their budget. So this is a Zillow article and a survey that came out, and it said that finding and landing a rental is stressing people out. The typical monthly rent in the US has soared to a record high of $2,031, and a new Zillow survey shows how tired and burnt out Americans are as they search for new homes and apartments. 2 in 5 recent renters said they lost sleep during their search, with many fretting about cost, communication, and competition. So obviously, we have the same issue if you're looking to purchase a home. Hence the problem that I'm seeing why people continue to look at renting as a better option than home ownership right now. Okay, it makes no sense to me unless you simply can't qualify for financing. And I know a lot of people are in that situation, or what they can qualify for is not enough to be able to purchase a home in whatever market they happen to be in. So I understand that is one of the factors. However, if you are one of these people who are only renting because you've been watching the news and you're looking at interest rates and looking at a 5.5% or a 6% or whatever the case may be as far as the interest rate goes, and you think, I'm going to wait this out because I think the market's going to crash or I think interest rates are going to drop. Well, I do believe interest rates will come back down. I don't know when. I do believe they will come back down. But waiting on that to happen while dealing with trying to find a rental and struggling with increasing rental rates, it doesn't make sense to me. You have to live somewhere. And if you're going to live somewhere, why not own it without worrying about having to be possibly evicted, having to worry about possibly having your rent increase when you're due up for a renewal? You don't have to deal with any of this stuff when you own. And because the market has shifted from a crazy seller's market, we've got more inventory. We've got, yes, rates have gone up. However, you're still dealing with the same issues on the rental side as you would be on the purchase side. So to me, if you can afford to get into a home, this is a good time to do it. You do not have to stay married to your interest rate the entire life of the mortgage if and when interest rates come back down. But let's jump back into this article about renters and what they're experiencing right now. The article continues on. Not being able to find an affordable rental is the most common stressor, with 38% of renters noting it is one of the most stressful parts of their search, which coincides with rents jumping 24% in just 2 years. So according to census data, the typical household income for a renter is around $3,800, which means they would have to spend more than half their income to be able to rent a typical house or apartment. So my question to you is this: do you believe it's better to rent when you can actually afford to buy? Or do you just want to rent because you think interest rates are high? Let me know in the comments below. Renters are making trade-offs to land a new home in high-stakes search environment. According to Zillow Survey, 77% said they made compromises to afford their most recent rental, with the most common being settling for a place that didn't have all the features they wanted, such as new appliances, AC, or a balcony. Just under a third of recent renters said they ended up renting a smaller home that they had planned. So when it comes to sacrifices, obviously renters are making sacrifices as well. Homeowners or potential homeowners probably need to make sacrifices as well. And what I mean by that is this: maybe because of the environment, maybe because of home prices and mortgage interest rates, your budget, which was once $400,000, now it's $300 or $350. Now, depending on the market that you're in, that's going to make a huge difference. But my question to you is, isn't it worth making a little sacrifice in the sense that, hey, maybe I can get this home versus the bigger one or the home in this community or neighborhood that I wanted by still owning and being able to maybe sell that house in a few years? To me, it still makes sense because renters are already making sacrifices. Now, I already know what you're going to say. I'm renting, so it's not that big of a deal. I get it, but are you just going to continue to rent because it's not that big of a deal and you can move? This is the challenge that you're going to face as a renter. When your lease renews, what happens? Do you know if your rent's going to go up? You have no idea. You don't know. And that's the problem that I see. And there are certain people in certain situations where renting makes sense. I understand that. But for a lot of people, they're only doing it because either one, they don't think they can afford it. They don't think they have the credit, which is a whole nother situation. Or they just don't think that the interest rates are low enough to be able to get them what they want without checking on it first. Check with a lender, check with a realtor, see where you are before you just automatically toss up your hands and say, I can't do this. Stop listening to the media. Find out what you can actually qualify for, if you can qualify for. Everybody should not be sitting on the sideline right now. This is a ridiculous notion that people are putting out there that, oh, you need to just wait. Don't buy anything right now. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're getting that advice from somebody, find somebody else to listen to. High interest rates is not a reason just to sit on the sideline. People don't remember, or they have short-term memory. Back before the crash in '08, guys, rates were at 6 and 6.5. It was normal, okay? I know it's not great. It doesn't sound great because we've been so spoiled for so long with these low interest rates. But at 5% or 5.5, 6, 6.5, that is not a reason for you to say, no, I'm not gonna do it. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? You're waiting on rates to drop? Well, while you're waiting on rates to drop, guess what's happening to home prices? Do you really think they're going to drop as much as they went up? Do you really believe that? If you do, then I understand why you're waiting. If you firmly believe we're going to have another market crash, I completely understand why you say, you know what, I'm going to wait because this market's going to crash. If that's what you believe, you continue to sit on the sideline. But I can tell you with utter confidence, I don't believe for 1 second that's going to happen in this situation. So not only are the rising rents adding to the pressure that renters feel, renters are often staring down a deadline to leave their current rental. And with competition so intense, they need to make decisions quickly. This survey shows even if renters are making compromises to land an apartment, many are still suffering emotional and physical strain. So if you're going to deal with all this emotional and mental strain for a rental property, wouldn't it be more beneficial if you're going to go through some pain that you actually get to the end and you own where you're living? Wouldn't it make more sense to take that emotional strain that people are dealing with? And trust me, people are dealing with the same level of emotional and physical strain on the buy side as they are on the rental side. To me, if I'm going to deal with this type of emotional strain that people are experiencing, I want to own it. I don't want to go through all this struggle to get a rental property that I don't own, that I'm going to pay a mortgage for a landlord instead of paying myself, investing in myself, investing in my family. And again, guys, I'm going to continue to talk about this. I know everybody can't qualify right now. I understand. But there are so many people that can qualify, and they're listening to some goofball tell them you need to wait because the market's going to crash. Not good advice, in my opinion. So while the rental market is super expensive and competitive, there are some steps that you can take as a renter to ease the stress a little bit and get a good night's sleep. Number one, you need to understand what you can afford and establish a budget. Before browsing rentals and setting expectations, if you're looking to rent, you should absolutely start with a rental affordability calculator to figure out the ideal price range. Number two, stay organized. Now, there's several different apps that are available out there to help you with that, But you're going to want to stay updated on this because these things change. Rental prices are increasing and rentals come and go in a lot of situations, sometimes faster than homes do. So you want to stay super organized as you're going through this and have some spreadsheets, maybe have some notes that you're taking so you can stay organized on what it is you saw, what's available and what's not available. And number 3, know your rights. So just make sure that you are not being discriminated against. If you feel that way, then you may need to bring that up and maybe get some help to determine whether or not you actually are being discriminated against, because there's a lot of laws that are preventing and should be preventing that from happening. So I want to hear from you. Are you planning to rent for the rest of 2022? Do you think 2023 is going to be a better year to buy a home? Let me know in the comments below. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you got value, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please join the Power Move community, guys. This whole channel is designed to educate you, to empower you, and to encourage you. Home ownership is still very, very important. It's super important. Again, it is one of the main ways for most people to build any type of wealth, or at least to kick start the wealth if you're looking to own a home long term. Right now, this is not the time to buy a home if you're looking to flip it in the next year or two, unless you get a hell of a deal on a home. There are still homes and deals available for people that are looking to flip. But if that's not you, if you're not looking to purchase a home and flip it in the next couple years, home ownership is still the best route to go if you're looking to kickstart your wealth. For most average people, that is the way to go. So let me know your thoughts. And remember, don't just make a move, make a power move. I will see you guys on the next video. Go check it out right over there.